Okay, well, I'm not gonna try that again. Whatever, I don't care. Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Asta was Blackbeard. Yeah. Was like Blackbeard? It just was Blackbeard. But not the point. Pretty much, this is part 3 of this what if. No recaps because it hasn't been 1 month. It actually been like somewhat 7 days, 9 days, somewhere around there. It's been kind of a long week, and I really haven't kind of recorded on my first channel. Yeah, go figure. But not the point. I really gotta just go back and just start recording so many what ifs on my first channel. But yeah, like start kind of finishing and whatever. For some reason I fucked up that whole word. Whatever. Finishing them. Blech. But not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up. Let me whatever. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to ramble on. Pretty much let me go into this what if. Then I'll go at. Then after I've kind of finished this part, I'll go on to another what if, and then yeah, yada yada yada. I gotta really start kind of just doing a lot of what ifs. But yeah, but not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up and let me just begin. Okay. So, we go into the last time and what happened last time. Mostly, well, we go into Asta at the Black Bulls. This is where Asta is right now chilling in, well, the Black Bulls headquarters talking to, well, Henry. Henry has kind of just been telling Asta his whole life story about his parents just abandoning him, about, well, being in this, like, place because this is the only place that literally can let him live. For like what's it called, a while, like literally just let him live because he drains other people's mana, but can't drain Asta's mana thanks to his like darkness, because he literally covered himself in darkness, just making sure that when he's next to Henry, his mana wouldn't be drained in an instant. But of course, that's not the point. That's where, well, he's right now kind of just talking to Henry. Of course, he also trains with Noelle. In, well, her mana control. Her just mana control and magic control entirely. This is where, well, he's been just training with her, making a black, what's it called? Just a black circle, like underneath them. And making her, just telling her to just use a little bit of mana. Well, mostly use a lot of mana. But if she figures out that she can't really control it, mostly this, what's it called, dome isn't supposed to like nullify her magic entirely. It's mostly kind of, or circle mostly is trying to just nullify like a lot of it so it can go to a little bit. Well, it sounds kind of stupid, but pretty much it's like just dividing her magic in half. But yeah, think of just divide or something. No, just dividing it. This is where, well, just trying to make her control half of her magic and then the other half. Mostly the full version, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, even half of her magic was still out of control. It was out of whack. So, of course, is where, well, Asta had to train into her quarter of magic. Basically, not 1.5, 1/4 of her magic. So, yeah. So, where, well, you see, mostly Asta was already got them annoyed. This is where, well, we go into Asta just kind of training with her. But, yeah. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, mostly them kind of getting paid after a while, but yeah. Of course, is where, well, Asta managed to kind of, well, figure out all the members of the Black Bulls, mostly every single one, even the newcomers who are basically him, Uta, and Junko, and even Noelle. Of course, where, well, they are all there, and of course, where, well, Noelle is still calling him Sama, or even just mostly Sama half the time, which just annoys him most of the time. Uta just calls him kind of Kun, but he's kind of confused why that even possible. Junko does the exact same thing, calls him Kun, and, well, it kind of annoys him. But yeah, he doesn't want to be any formal mats. She really doesn't care about any of that. Especially Noelle's kind of formality, because it kind of pisses him off and annoys him a little bit. A little bit, but then a lot. It kind of reminds us of something. But the viewers will still never know about that. Not the point. Let me go back into the water. But yeah. This is where, well, Asta, he is kind of getting paid by, well, the Black Bulls. Mostly Yami, he kind of giving them each a bag of gold. And of course, where, well, mostly, what's it called? This is where, well, what was his name? Fuck, wait. Mostly, and Finral kind of asked Asta and will look to come in towards mostly a secret admirer day or whatever the hell it's called. Those kind of, what's it called? Brothel? No, it wasn't brothel. It was a fuck. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's been a while since I kind of did some of these what ifs. But of course, well, he kind of asked him. That's where Asta was interested in the fact what the fuck it was because he didn't, well, he had nothing really to do unless train Noel or just be annoyed by Noel's formality. So, of course, he decides to go along. Besides, he's kind of hungry and he doesn't mind if Finral's the one paying because, well, fuck it. Luck didn't mind either. Pretty much Luck is thinking it's like a battle to the death. This is where, well, Asta explains what it entirely is. It's mostly Luck paying them for food, but yeah. This is where Luck says, oh, I mean, that's still good. Mostly, not Luck, mostly Finral paying for food. This is where Luck says, oh, that's still pretty good. This is where, well, Finral is sweat shopping because he now feels like they are just there for food. But of course, he doesn't mind. He would have asked what's it called Magna to come along, but it probably would have fucked up. So of course, he instead brought Luck in, well, Asta, because they are the only kind of good-looking people. Well, mostly not good-looking. In his opinion, they're kind of the only good-looking guys. If he brings, well, Magna looks like a punk. If he brings Yami straight up will scare them to death. If he brings anyone else, mostly half the other team, mostly he looks like Gray will scare the fuck out of them. Also, bringing Gordon will scare the fuck out of them. Also, bringing Ghosh will literally try to kill them because they are not as beautiful as his sister because he has a very, well, he's like a sister cone or whatever. That's where, well, so he decides to bring, what's it called? Luck. Even though Luck is a little bit like a battle maniac, he thought he maybe can control himself. And then when it comes to Asta is still mysterious. Now, of course, where, well, Finral can see that there's always 3 girls always around Asta. That being kind of the ones who came with him, or mostly one that's actually from his village, mostly Junko, who Finral thinks is kind of good looking. This is where Uta, who's also from a different village, and Noel, who's actually noble. Which he thinks they're all good looking, it's just the problem is they want to be interested at him. Mostly Junko is very quiet to herself. She talks to the other girls, but when it comes to Finral, she will literally try to kill him for being annoying. When it comes to Uta would just be kind of friendly and then walk away, but yeah, and kind of ignoring him most of the time. When it comes to Noel's just full-blown to ignores him, but yeah. This is where, well, that's why he's bringing Asta towards this place, because he might be able to, well, get someone, but yeah, or just like, they are mostly admire Asta, or someone who's across from him, blah, 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 you get the point. This is where, well, Asta does look good looking. He's actually, pretty tall for being 16. And of course, well, his longish black hair makes him also looks great. Of course, well, the problem is with him is that his personality. This is where, well, Finral doesn't know much about it. It's mostly kind of mysterious. He does see somewhat his personality being lazy, but also hardworking at the same time. Being very nice at one point, saying, yeah. This is where, well, he thinks maybe that's his personality. This is where, well, that is farther from the case, but not the point. Let me go back to what if. Of course, this is where, well, Finral brings him towards this place. Of course, this is where, well, the person that Finral's in front of, like in Virgil Cannon, look, it's the same. And of course, Asta's in front of Rebecca. Rebecca is kind of just there, kind of just me. She's kind of mumbling because, well, she hated how her siblings literally brought her in this shit, but yeah. Of course, well, the girl says, well, can you introduce yourself? This is where Finral says, yes, my name is Finral, blah, blah, blah. Mostly the same thing in Original Canon. Luck was the same. And this is where when Asta says his name, he says, the name is Asta. And I'm, well, you can say that my magic is strong, I guess. Well, mostly Asta says, the name's Asta. He said it very kind of gentleman-like, which most of the girls kind of got their eyes caught on him. And of course, with his handsome-looking face, similar, which he's not as handsome as, what's it called, mostly in girls' opinion, he's not as handsome as, well, you know, but it kind of just, mostly his hair, his eyes, and mostly somewhat his face makes up for it, but yeah. But of course, also his toned body because he's kind of ripped, even though you can barely see it because he's wearing a black bull coat. Yeah, covering up mostly his toned body. Well, they kind of nodded. Mostly the girls ignores, well, their dates that are across from them. And of course, Rebecca kind of narrowed her eyes at Asta. This is where, well, Rebecca kind of narrowed her eyes to see, well, mostly look into Asta's eyes, peer into his soul to see if he has any lustful intent towards her. Which, when she kind of looked into it, does barely any lustful intent, mostly confused intent, mostly just confused a little bit, but also just doesn't care that much. He only cares for Finral literally paying for his food. That's all he cares. This is where, well, 3 people are right now in the, what's it called, kind of restaurant, and they are kind of serving. But there's one, well, mostly one problem. They are mostly staring at Asta and the girl in front of them, mostly in front of him, a reddish hair girl. Of course, the wearer with bluish eyes. This is where the girl says that her name is Rebecca. Now, of course, they were also nodded. Of course, they were just eating quietly while the other 4 are just kind of going on, but yeah. This is where, well, someone accidentally breaks a plate, and that was a white-haired girl with pinkish eyes, because she kind of started kind of developing feelings towards Asta. And of course, where, well, someone else kind of has the sinister grin, and mostly looking at the girl and Asta, right now having whitish and reddish hair, even though she changed her, what's it called, hair, mostly her red hair, towards being a purplish color, and even her white hair mostly just looking completely different, using her own magic. And of course, where a blondish haired girl working as a, what's it called, waiter, is right now gritting her teeth. This is where, well, her eyes turn red for a slight bit. This is where, well, they're trying to suppress their magic, but the rage is kind of not being suppressed that much, but yeah. Of course, the owner was shocked and, of course, scared of their aura, which he didn't go anywhere near them, but yeah. This is where, well, this big older man kind of says, huh, aren't you that person that goes to that blah 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 store? He's drunk and all them other things. And this is where, well, he's saying, huh, well, your husband and blah blah blah. And this is where, well, he decides, maybe I can help you. This is where he was about to grab her from the arm until his arm was literally grabbed by Asta. This is where, well, he then felt like his arm literally got crushed, his bones in his wrist. This is where he's like, ugh. This is where he kind of groans in pain. Asta says, you should really leave her alone. She's not interested in such a pathetic weakling. Such a loser like you. Please. I can easily kick your ass with barely even using some of my power. This is where, well, the man kind of growls at him and says, what did you say? This is where Asta says, what I said is what I said. Asta's eyes goes crimson red for a second. Slick also. For a moment of time, this is where an aura smashes upon him. This is where, well, he falls kind of unconscious, but this is where Asta throws him behind him, literally landing on that table where the haha guy and the others. But yeah. Now, haha guy managed to still go into the, what's it called, green, hop? Whatever the hell it's green grasshoppers? I don't remember. Something like that. Fuck, I don't remember. Was it green hoppers or was it green praying mantis? Yeah. I forgot their name, God. But whatever. But, of course, well, Asta kind of just weakens. Of course, well, Noelle winding her eyes, well, not Noelle, mostly Noelle, Uta, and even Junko, who were there, kind of winding her eyes when Asta did that. Now, of course, they felt this kind of conquerors, like, magic, or whatever it's called. Mostly it was just, like, magic, but it felt kind of conquerors, or his will was kind of sent onto someone else, which it was weird, but no one knows what it is. This is where, well, Asta was about to sit down until, well, everyone was looking at him, and this is where he got up and was about to leave, but this is where Rebecca kind of grabbed his arm, just so they can leave. This is where Junko, Noelle, and Uta, who were there, right now, just their auras almost exploded from them. The boss didn't want to deal with them. This is where all of them quit at the same time to go find where they went. Now, of course, where, well, they all didn't kind of look to each other. They're mostly kind of doing this. Well, they look like they're doing this out of kindness, but pretty much they're doing this out of jealousy mostly. But yeah, we go into Asta kind of, well, being in the alleyways and confused. This is where, well, Rebecca kind of asked him if he will be kind of free the next day, just to go to the store that she works at. This is where Asta says, "Yeah, I'll be fine." This is where, well, we'll see. Rebecca says, "Good. I'll be." She kind of tells where I'll be at, and this is where Asta nods and says, "Sure, I'll be there." This is where, well, Rebecca smiles, and this is where, well, she kind of like smiles and kind of leans in closer to kind of kiss him. But this is where Asta says, "What are you doing?" This is where Rebecca says, "Oh, sorry." This is where she just kissed me in the cheek and then just leaves. But yeah, Asta says, interesting. Now, of course, Asta, this is where, well, he never has eyes behind him, but he didn't turn around. He did already sense the presence of, well, Junko, Uta, and Noel being behind him. Now, of course, you can feel the what's called malicious intent from all three of them. Like if they had basically a yandere inside them or whatever. This is where, well, he's going to have to deal with them somehow. He doesn't want them to accidentally kill a civilian for his sake. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into the next day. Asta, he gets up pretty early, kind of gets on his like broom. His broom is like a black oak kind of broom. And of course, is where, well, the kind of near the broom, mostly the, what's it called, what was it, brush or whatever the hell it's called. It's kind of, instead of being like a normal broom, the oak is black, while the, what's it called, mostly the back is kind of like, what's your name? So the broom is still just a normal brush, but it's kind of a darker color. But of course, where, well, he is getting out of the mostly black balls by kind of jumping out of his window, kind of just landing on the broom and just flying off. This is where, well, three people notice where he was going. Now, of course, where, well, these three people decide to all go. Mostly one had to kind of, well, ask, well, Finro to kind of teleport them there, while the other two literally got on their own broom to follow Asta. Now, of course, when they get towards where Asta was going, Asta gets to the place, and yeah. Now, did they kind of help Noel find her magic wand? I think that was Vanessa, but yeah. This is where, well, wait. Oh yeah, I accidentally just skipped through, what's it called? I skipped to, yeah, I think I skipped a arc. So let me go into the arc, oops. But pretty much, let me go, so Asta did get to that place, but let me go into a flashback of something. Well, see, Asta and, what's it called? You know what, never mind, let me go into this arc and then, yeah, I think, yeah, I skipped through an arc, but yeah, I haven't really done some of these Asta what ifs, yeah, Naruto what ifs are going to be difficult because I haven't done really anything in about a couple of months, but yeah. But pretty much, let me go back into what if, but yeah. So, of course, Asta gets towards, well, mostly the location. This is where, well, he kind of gets mostly into the store, and this is where he meets all the kids. Now, of course, this is where, well, Ghosh is on his way to kind of get towards the place to see his sister. But, of course, he sees his sister kind of playing with the other kids, and Asta tries to attack Asta, but Asta literally destroys it, nullifies his magic in an instant before punching him in the face, literally knocking him the fuck out. Then Asta kind of goes on with playing with the other kids. Even though Asta's not that friendly looking, unlike the others, or mostly his other friends like, well, Yuno or Katori, or Junko for that matter. Mostly Estep and him were kind of not that friendly with kids. But of course, Asta usually got kind of used to kind of playing with the kids in the church. Somewhat. Mostly, even though he's not that great with them. But yeah. And of course, is where, well, Rebecca can see that he's trying, not his hardest, but just trying to kind of be friendly with them. This is where, well, Rebecca kind of got her heart kind of warm even more. But yeah. This is where, well, Asta can actually be somewhat of a great father. That's what she thinks in her head. Of course, this is where she starts having perverted thoughts. This is where, well, three people were watching this, and of course they also had perverted thoughts with Asta. This is where, well, Asta was kind of dealing with, well, the, what's it called, kids. Of course, we go into mostly the night. Of course, Asta kind of goes to sleep, but yeah. And why the hell do I keep saying of course? Whatever. But they kind of go on to sleep, and of course, oh Jesus Christ, I just had, whatever. I'm getting tired. Yeah, I just realized I'm getting tired. But not the point. Let me get into the mostly arc and where I want to leave it off. But yeah, so they kind of go to sleep. This is where the next couple of minutes, the man mostly someone kind of goes into being like the snowman or whatever, making everyone hypnosis and kind of get out of the building. This is where Asta already notices in the little magic. This is where he gets up. He gets mostly he gets downstairs and looks outside. He sees a bunch of kids walking away, and this is where Asta gets his stuff and then just kind of gets towards what is happening, because he managed to kind of just sense this magic, even though it was a little bit and no one else could sense it. His sensory is a little bit sensitive, so yeah. This is where he gets to the place and what is happening and sees all the kids almost mana being drained. One kid was about to get his mana drained by these people, but he stops him by using his darkness magic and making both of them stuck to the ground by this darkness hands grabbing them. This is where they're shocked, and when they look up, they see Asta. Asta right now, both of his hands were made out of this earthquake bubble. This is where he says blackout knockouts. Boom! He punches both of them in the face, knocking them out. This is where, they were gone for days, but yeah. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off, but yeah. I also realized I did kind of skip a bunch of other arcs, didn't I? Shit, I have not actually decided Clue. If I did, I might have to redo this what if, but yeah. But other than that, I'm just gonna end it off here because I'm getting kind of tired. But if I can go on with not falling asleep on accident, if I can go on with the next what if, I will go on. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and yeah, bye.